Guys, this is how Enzo Fernandez fought his way back into the starting 11 of Chelsea FC. Guys, welcome to the show. If you're watching for the first time, please make sure you smash the subscribe button. And also don't forget to let us know where you are watching us from. And watch the video till the end and let me know your thoughts on the issues I'm coming to, discuss right here. Enzo Fernandez is one of, Chelsea's undoubtedly, most expensive talent, midfielders for that matter. And since he came to Chelsea, it has been very, very difficult for him. And possibly because prior to the time he came, which I think was somewhere January 2023, with a transfer fee of 107 million euros, Chelsea wasn't in the best place. All coaches that had come through that period, including Graham Potter, Pochettino, all tried to, make the best out of Enzo Fernandez. But unfortunately, it didn't really seem to pick very well. And it had gone on until the coming of Enzo Maresca, which happened, I think, towards the beginning of this season, and also coming in with a whole new ideology, whole new philosophy, and a whole new agenda. And starting the preseason with the boys, trying to find out, who is who and how, are they going to play. And even prior to his coming, he had told us that he has watched a couple of, videos of our players, and he knew we had a very good squad. But the issue really was how this squad was used. And unfortunately, we didn't get the best out of the squad. And if I'm particularly making this video because a follower or a subscriber of mine, either I think on Facebook or on YouTube, has really impressed me to make a video about Enzo Fernandez's current status or his current form, because I've actually been particularly critical of Enzo Fernandez since the period where he hasn't really been doing very well up until when he picked up and then he started delivering. So I think basically this is where that is where this whole video is coming from. For me, I'm always very open and non-sentimental about my analysis and how I see things. So when I saw that post, I felt it was necessary for me to do this particular video. So let's get back into the video. When Enzo Maresca came in the first, let's forget about, I think even in preseason, by then Enzo and Caicedo all came later on. But getting into the season, Enzo probably had seen some quality of, have heard about the quality of Enzo Fernandez, and he gave him the opportunity to start, I think, about 6-7 games in the Premier League as a regular starter in the league. But unfortunately, within that period, Enzo didn't really impress, because as I said earlier on, I was on record to have come out to speak loudly about how Enzo Fernandez was, not really playing very well, not helping the team, losing balls, and, not really concrete, not solid in the midfield. And so it got to a point where Enzo Fernandez, the most expensive, player, or one of the most expensive players at Chelsea, had to sit on the bench. And that particularly to me was instructive. And I think that most of these things happen when there is so much pressure, high, price tag on the player, too much pressure. People are expecting you to deliver, do magic, and make sure it happens. And also, one of the difficulties is coming in from a different, situation altogether. Remember, he came back. He came from Benfica, huge price tag. A lot of Chelsea fans expected that with this price tag, Enzo Fernandez was going to spark off, the start of, his season at Chelsea. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Also because probably there were other issues way beyond his control. I don't know. But particularly this season is what our focus or our attention is more on. So if we look at the games that he has started, and probably some of the videos I spoke about Enzo will be inserted into this video for you to hear some of the things I said about him. But after, I remember quite clearly in our game against Liverpool, Enzo Fernandez was benched and Lavia, but then Lavia was fit to play. And I remember at the start of the season, Lavia was also not really, really in good shape. So when Lavia was in good shape, Enzo Fernandez was benched, I think, for the first time in the season, and it raised a couple of concerns from some Enzo Fernandez fans. But a couple of Chelsea fans were happy because Enzo Fernandez was not really delivering how Chelsea fans expected him to deliver. Some Chelsea fans, and so it came as good news to some Chelsea fans. And one of the things, or one of the characteristics I particularly love about Enzo Maresca, the coach, is how he, let every player knows that no player is too big to be on the bench. So if you are not performing, you are going to the bench. So that was the particular case of Enzo Fernandez, where in that Liverpool game, he was put on the bench and for Lavia to start. And obviously, I think it gave some impression, or it gave him some, some learning to do, or some, feeling that, hey, I have to, up my game. If not, probably it's going to be critical for me in this Chelsea club or in this Chelsea squad. And also putting into consideration the fact that even towards the end of, the start of the season, there have been concerns about the number of players Chelsea have. And, looking at how, Enzo Maresca was going to be able to manage all of these players. So if you were adding more, not adding positive energy or positivity to the team, forget, you were going to be on the bench. So I think that's one of the things I actually appreciate about Enzo Maresca. But I think he always does that, and he has come out to clearly state that he does that not because he hates the player, but because he loves the player and want him to improve. And also putting into consideration the fact that, it came all out that Enzo Fernandez had issues at home, marital issues. And so this particularly got a lot of people feeling that this could be the issue that is actually bothering the focus of this talented youngster, Enzo Fernandez. And fast forward, he got those issues. It came out that they had a divorce. I don't know of what sort, whether separation, proper divorce, I don't know. But after that, I think we saw a different Enzo when he came off the bench in our game against Arsenal, where he gave the only assists that equalized or that gave us a point in that game against Arsenal, where Pedro Neto scored that brilliant goal that gave Chelsea a 1-1 goal. 1-1 scoreline in our game against Arsenal. Then obviously you know definitely that if you are not in the starting 11 of Premier League, definitely are going to Conference League. So, but then I think Enzo Fernandez didn't really take it in bad faith, because when he got into that Conference League starting 11, that was where the twist began. That was where he started his comeback. He played as if he was a man on a mission. And I remember in that game against FC Noah, where he started, and in the first half alone, he provided 3 assists. And I can clearly say that he was one of the most contributors, in that game, who made us have a very good start of the game, giving us three goals or 3 assists that led to goals in the first half. And then the team proceeding to score 8 goals in that game against FC Noah. And then it became a big issue all over town, all over social media, and all of that. Then came international break. After international break, we had a game against Leicester City. And, remember that in that game against Leicester City, Enzo Fernandez started in that game. And, he actually scored in that game and assisted. in the only 2 goals we got in that game. So it definitely he contributed 100% in that win against Leicester City, and that actually boosted his confidence in his comeback mission that he had. I mean, he was embarking on, and then took us to Aston Villa, where we had 3 goals. We won by 3 goals, and this was where we had a bigger twist, or a bigger complement to his play. And as I said all along, I think it was a bit difficult for some coaches to figure out what or who is Enzo Fernandez, what can he do, or where can he play better. I think this game against Aston Villa actually further opened the net, and, or should I say, the Pandora's box, and further revealed what Enzo Fernandez can offer to this Chelsea club, where he was. I mean, in that game we had Reece James was, already out on injury, and Gusto was also ill. And if you know the squad very well, you know that coming from Brighton, Caicedo actually played as a right back before, and that is where we had a challenge. Gusto was supposed to play on the right back, but he was ill. So Enzo Maresca now brought in some beautiful tactical twist to the game, where he deployed Caicedo on the right back, and allowed him to invert when we are in possession, and allow the defense to now be a back 3 anytime we're in possession. Then Caicedo joins the midfield in attack, and then Enzo now plays a little bit higher in the opposition box. And I think this was where it became clear that Enzo is an asset to Chelsea. And in that game, we all saw how that game operated. And I also think it unleashed one of Enzo Maresca's best tactical formations in this Chelsea side, where we have, all our 3 midfielders, all our top midfielders. When you're talking about midfield, we cannot in Chelsea we cannot take out Caicedo, we cannot take out Lavia. But how do we play all of these 3, Fernandez, Lavia, Caicedo? And I think this particular, game gave us that, confidence to play in that game. And Aston Villa is no mean aside, but then he was able to deploy that formation, or those tactics that gave us a resounding victory in that particular game against Aston Villa. And it was clear that this was what Enzo Maresca or Enzo Fernandez is going to do in this team, right? So in our next game against Southampton, which I think 2 weeks ago, Enzo Fernandez, gave another assist in our 5-1 win, adding up to his confidence. You could clearly see that the man was back, and that was after the divorce. And so sometimes some of these players outside the pitch and on the pitch, sometimes there is a close link with what happens to these players off the pitch and on the pitch. When he had that divorce, I think everything changed. And there's also that saying that it is very important who you marry, or not to say that the person he married was the wrong person, but you have to marry somebody who complements you, whether for whatever reason. So I think when this divorce happened, he had peace of mind to deliver. And in our game against Spurs, very keen game. You saw that beautiful goal Enzo Fernandez scored, but for that goal, the game would have ended in a draw. But for that Enzo Fernandez goal, the game would have ended 3-3. So I think holistically, we have seen an improved Enzo Fernandez, who have fought his way back. He has fought his way back into the Chelsea squad. At this point, I'm particularly happy and excited that we have found, maybe still in the process, but I think that he has been efficient over the past 4 or 5 games for Chelsea. And I think Enzo Maresca is still working with him, still working with all the players to find, the best place fit for these quality players we have to unleash something amazing, something great for the club. The club has started on a very good note since Enzo Maresca came. And I hopefully believe that this is going to continue. I mean, with players like Enzo Fernandez finding their feet after some games now. And overall, he has had about 9 goal contributions in all competitions. A midfielder. That is, I mean, tremendous. That is amazing. 9 goal contributions in all contributions. 3 goals in Conference League. 3 assists in Conference League, 3 goals in Premier League, and 3 assists in Premier League. I mean, a midfielder cannot be this any better. So, guys, this is my little piece on how Enzo Fernandez has worked his way back into the starting 11 of Chelsea, the biggest club in the world. The biggest club in London. Blue. I'm super excited. I mean, how things are going. Hopefully, it will continue, and hopefully, we keep winning. They say we shouldn't say we are title contenders. We only want 3 points. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not watched yet, and tell me which part of Africa you're watching from, or which part of the world you are watching from. I think I've been making this mistake, and people have really had cause to ask whether I think people don't watch from other parts of Africa. But the point really is, we are more centered in Africa. So forgive me when I keep saying which part of Africa. But you can also tell us which part of the world you are watching us from in the comment section. As I keep telling you, this is the biggest Chelsea platform, or the biggest Chelsea channel in Africa. So make sure you make your way to this channel by subscribing and sharing the video to new people who might have not heard of this channel, and leave us a comment, hit the like button, and I'll be back with more. Peace. I'm out.